Hello guys and gals, me Jeffrey Zabersky here again, and today we got the official Sonic.Exe sequel, known as Sonic.Exe, also known as Round 2, aka Electric Boogaloo. So I'm just going to call the title of this Sonic.Exe 2 Electric Boogaloo, just to make it more simplistic, and I'm going to read it word for word. So without that further ado, let's see what this story has in packaging for us. That's a mailman term. Anyways, it's been more than a year now ever since the Sonic.Exe merge began to happen, and the police department still doesn't know who's doing it and why it's happening. The first merge looked like as if the killer did a very sloppy job at it, but over time the killings, or at least some of the guys back at the station thinks that it's just killings, have gotten more elaborate. Bodies have been more starting to look like victims had just dropped dead, or there were disappearances. One thing is certain. All the victims seem to have a burned/destroyed computer with some data from a game called Sonic.Exe. None of us have found any connections or clues that could help us learn to why this is all happening. Well, no, that's not true. There was one cop who may have uncovered more about these murders than we did. The guy's name was Derek Green, a really good detective, mainly because he was always teaming up with his sister Chelsea on these cases. They were assigned to investigate the Sonic.Exe murders. I should know this because I was their boss at the time. They're both dead. Sometimes I wonder if I should have helped him. I don't know. Anyways, the boys have found Derek's diary when we investigated his apartment. He hasn't been in his home for weeks. The diary recorded all of what had been recorded by Derek and what he found in his investigation. And my God, did he write down a lot. Especially after the chief of police took him off the case, and a lot of what he wrote down seems to be connecting a lot. And what's going on with these murders, at least. I hope he's what was on to Sun. Well, here's what it wrote. 7:30 p.m., September 15th, 2011. Happy birthday to me. I got this diary as a gift from my sister Chelsea. It was certainly something that would come in handy when we both do another investigation. Oh, I forgot to tell you, name's Derek Green. I'm a detective. Wow, I'm not really good at this, but hopefully I get better as I write in this. Anyways, I will let you know if anything else happens. 11:22 a.m., October 24th, 2011. Wow, pretty interesting way to start off a case on Halloween. Our boss told us that there's a stiff in one of the local suburbs, and he wants us to check it out. Wow, it's been a while since me and Chelsea tackled the murder case. This might be interesting. We're in the truck right now, and we're heading for the house. 2:30 p.m. Jesus, whatever happened in this house, I was not expecting. The victim looked like someone was ripped his mouth open and tried to take something out from inside. I've seen a lot of messed up ways to kill a person, but this is rather strange. I don't really think any normal person would do this. The cop present at the crime scene told us that the kid was like this for 2 days, and his parents just discovered his body and called us in this morning. That's really weird about this, and there's like a badly made like cut or scar on his chest that's shaped like the number 1. Chelsea told me that she had found a possible clue to the murder. She showed us that the victim owned a computer. The computer was badly burnt and wrecked. Both me and Chelsea have a theory about this. Either the killer destroyed the computer or the victim did it to himself. Either way, we sent it to the station for research. 6:10 p.m. Alright, the guys from the lab have the report, and they told us that the computer's destroyed from inside and out. And what I mean by that is that everything on this kid's computer is completely gone, while at the same time, the computer still got destroyed. The only thing that still seems to be in the computer is some data from a computer game called Sonic.Exe. 4:30 p.m., November 11th, 2011, aka 11/11/11. A couple more murders these last few weeks at the same killing method: dead bodies, tore open mouths, destroyed computers. The more recent killings are looking less messy in this, if the killer is being more careful while tearing out whatever he's tearing out from, these victims. There also seems to be cuts on the victim's chest from numerical order, like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The killer seems to be keeping count on all the people he's killing. 8:30 p.m. Had dinner. Both me and Chelsea are brainstorming of what's been going on. It's really strange. The fact that these computers are being destroyed each time there's a murder victim, we find out there's some old data from the same game. Sonic.Exe. That name reminds me of all the times me and Chelsea would play some of our old Sonic the Hedgehog video games. I remember when we used to play Sonic Heroes. She always liked to play as Rouge the Bat, and I always liked playing as Vector the Crocodile. But that it's weird is that what does a Sonic game, a possibly fan-made one, got to do with all these killings? 2:45 December 2nd, 2011. Another murder, big surprise there, but both me and Chelsea agree that these murders are connected with the game. Maybe the killer made his way as his calling card. The chief told us not to worry about a simple video game and just stick with what's going on with the murders. 6:30 p.m. Autopsy came in again. The doctors told us aside that from the wounds from the chest and mouth, the victims don't seem to be showing any signs of a murder or a struggle. In fact, as baffling as it seems, all the victims appear to be in perfect health, apart from the fact that they are dead. I air-checked the word dead because that's where the report came out really disturbing. The doctors stated that there all appears to be some persistent vegetative state, meaning these people are in fact still alive, their brains and hearts are still working, but they're all in an empty, dead-like state, as if something robbed them of their minds and sense of self. Chelsea stated that it was one of the freakiest things that she's seen in their days as my partner, and I don't blame her. Who would have been capable of stealing people's sense of self? It's as if someone is hand-picking innocent people and robbing them of their souls for eternal damnation. 5:42 p.m. December 14th, 2011. Chelsea's been acting really strange lately. She seems to be quieter at work, and whenever we go home, she goes back to her room, and I'm guessing she's just as determined to learn more about the case as I am. If she's onto something, I hope she lets me know first before we make it official. After all, we are a team. 2 p.m. December 19th, 2011. Chelsea didn't go to work with me. She said she wasn't feeling well. I'm starting to get a little worried for her. Ever since she took this case, she's been acting rather odd. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. Boss told me to not worry about him, maybe just to look into what she was researching. I might do that. Also, several news about this people worshipping this guy recently. Calls himself X. I swear the things kids will be into nowadays. 9:30 Christmas Eve 2011. Almost time for Christmas, though I don't know if I should celebrate. Chelsea's been shut up in her room almost every day, not responding to me. Hope she's alright. Anyways, I might be looking into Chelsea's work, and I think she might have found some. Apparently, the killer must be going after anyone who plays the Sonic.Exe game, and once they've played the game, the killer tracks them down, kills them, and keeps their count by carving the numbers on their chest. But what about the fact that almost every victim looks like they've had their soul sucked out of them? Wait a minute. I just remembered something. A few days ago, Chelsea came home from the store and went back into her room. She said she found a new game. Oh my god, Chelsea! 12:32 a.m. The writing is a bit sloppy and there's tears splotched here and there. Chelsea's dead. She found the game. Oh my god, why? 4:50 a.m. Christmas Day 2011. I called the guys back at the station to help me move Chelsea. Oh god, why? Why her? Did the killer find out and try to cover his tracks? No, it doesn't look like anything was taken or destroyed. Well, except for the computer and the game's still here. I wanted to keep it to find out what happened to this, but the chief demanded I hand it over to him. The way he asked for it is really weird, as if he doesn't want me to do anything to this game disc. The funeral for my sister will be prepared in a few days. I can't believe that Chelsea, my own sister, is gone. When I find out who killed her, I'm going to make sure he pays dearly. 4:50, December 28th, 2011. Came back from the funeral. God, I'm a mess. Thankfully, Boss was there for me. He's the only person who's ever supported me and Chelsea. I'm glad he's on my side about this case. A woman came on to me at the funeral party. Her name is Shannon Goldman, and she's supposedly a representative for the Call of X, as she called it. She told me she was sorry for my loss and pulled out some weird religious crap about X, wishing me a happier year. Seriously, who is this X guy? She told me soon that X will make things better for the whole world, which pretty much ended the conversation right now. That woman is crazy. Anyways, more news about the Call of X doing more crazy stuff. Wow, whoever this X guy is, he sure is making much of an impact as much of the public as the killer is. January 2nd, 2012, 2:20 p.m. Another murder. Jesus, this guy has never had a break with what he does he? This is like the 22nd killing. What is he trying to gain from killing all these people, and how is he getting away with it so damn easily? I gotta know what Chelsea was finding out. She was onto something that I just know it. Maybe if I look around in her room, I could find a clue. 5:30 p.m. Well, whatever Chelsea found, she left a hell of a lot of good clues for me. Computer's not entirely broken. In fact, it still worked as if it got beat up a few times, but still is working like new. I'm actually surprised I didn't see like this that night. But then again, if you lost someone you love, you too would lose sight of very important details surrounding you. Anyways, I checked the game on the computer and there's an icon for Sonic.Exe on her desktop. My god, how the hell did she even get this? I guess it doesn't really matter. What's really important is what I found on her notes. Apparently, Chelsea was terrified of this game. Something from the game scared the hell out of her. In fact, according to what she wrote down, she may seem like the game was cursed or something. But what can't be the case? There's no way a computer game would harm anyone, right? 7:12 a.m., January 3rd, 2012. Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe there is something spooky about that game after all. Last night I had a dream. No, a nightmare. More like, I remember it well. I was trapped in darkness. All was quiet except someone was laughing and talking to me. I kept having visions of Sonic the Hedgehog smiling and appearing all around as he talked to me. He told me to play the game over and over again, each time sounding more impatient. When he got to my face and yelled, "Play it," that's when I woke up in a fright. Why would Sonic want me to play a game that possibly killed my sister? 3:30 p.m. Another murder, number 24, and the Call of X seems to be pestering the public more and more. What's their deal? Don't they realize that there's a killer on the loose? Wait a minute. What if this X weirdo is the killer? It would make sense. Ever since these murders started, this cult has been hanging around recruiting more and more people, and this X character they're worshipping, who is he? Why is this cult even started after several murders have taken place? I looked over Chelsea's notes again, and she seemed to agree with me on this one. Apparently X has something to do with the Sonic.Exe game. Did he make the game? Is he somehow getting a hold of it and thought, hey, if I take people out with this game, people will like me. What if this X people is doing is real, and then something is seriously wrong here? 6:30 p.m. Unbelievable. The chief of police came over to my apartment a while ago and told me the investigation may be too much for me to handle, and he said I was off the case. What the hell? I practically found a lot of evidence, and he practically told me that I shouldn't continue it. He also told me that Chelsea would want me to quit after all this happened. Bullcrap! Whatever the case, I'm not going to let some fathead stop me from solving this case. I'm going to find out who X really is, and why he's doing all this, and I'm going to turn him in. 5:30 p.m., February 8, 2012. Murders. We're up to 28 now. Boss contacts me about it every now and then behind the chief's back. Told me that whoever is causing these murders is one smart son of a bitch. I can't really blame him as much as I hate to admit it. I have to give X credit for being able to take out 28 people so far, but he's not going to get away with it. Anyways, I looked over Chelsea's notes again, and what she wrote down before she got attacked is very odd. Nonsensical stuff about a Sonic plushie, always just watching her, spying on her. I never saw a Sonic plushie in my apartment. Then again, I never questioned my sister's sanity. She was always the smart one in things, and it just pains me into realizing how broken she was just before she just died. I didn't tell the boss about X or Chelsea's notes. I don't know if he would believe me. Nobody will. I guess you have to solve a case, you have to do it yourself. 8:30 p.m. Someone sent me a friend request on my Skype. He calls himself Cole. He said he could help me with this case, but only if I can trust him. I really don't have a choice. I'm willing to do anything to put an end to this. Anyways, Cole told me that the first thing I have to do is get the files of all the victims in Sonic.Exe murders. That's what the news is starting to call it nowadays, that the police has confirmed the old game data is in the computers as evidence. Later on tonight, I'm going to pay the station a little visit. 11:45 p.m. Jesus, what a close call. Made it back from the station. Managed to grab all the files I had running with the chief. He asked me what I was doing back in the station. I lied and I told him that I had to pick up a few things from my office and decided to take some time off. Thankfully, he believed me, but that's strange. The way he talked to it sounded like he didn't believe me in the slightest. Anyways, I got the files just like Cole asked. I told Cole that all the victims had the same occurrences. All of them were in a dead-like state, as if their souls had been taken out, and they were all numbered. And that each computer the victims had somehow been destroyed, and Sonic.Exe inside the hard drives. He said that there's a reason why the victims had Sonic.Exe in the computers, and boy did I not like the answer. The cult of X is indeed involved. Their members, after someone gets killed, seals the disc and the victim had at the time, hides it away for a while until it shows up later at a random place to be easily obtained. These random locations could be anything like the game store, a pawn shop, the black market, eBay, Craigslist, randomly yet seemingly harmless deliveries. Anywhere that involves buying that stuff. That way the next potential victim finds it, he or she becomes a new owner of Sonic.Exe game until X comes to kill them, and then a member of the cult comes to steal the game disc away again, and the cycle begins anew. I asked him why the cult was even doing this, and he told me that X, the bastard, is clearly some sort of holy figure to the cult, and they will do whatever it takes to be on his good side. What did they see in X anyhow? Why is it that they like him so much that they're willing to accomplish to a murder? Or better yet, what kind of power does X have to strike so much terror into people that they'll do whatever he says? 3:30 March 1st, 2012. I couldn't handle myself any longer. I had to know what she found in that game. So I played it. Started pretty basic with the classic Sonic the Hedgehog title screen until I started. Sonic, his eyes had gone black and there were red glowing dots staring at me. Yeah, I know this character selection screen came up because apparently the game had one. I was shown the character lineup: Shadow, Sally, and Rouge. Rouge was Chelsea's favorite character, so I chose not to play as her out of respect for Chelsea, and I chose Shadow. That laugh, it sounded like the laugh that Sonic made in that dream I had. The game started with a level title called Let's Play, and I was shown Shadow standing in what appears to be a hallway of mirrors, with a faint echoing sound of a piano playing a calm melody in the distance. I had Shadow walk down the hallway, and every time he walked past the mirror, I was introduced to a more twisted, messed up version of himself in the mirror. His reflections' red markings were oozing red as he was bleeding, and his eyes were bloodshot to the point where they were red, bleeding and pulsating, and he had the most psychotic grin on his face. It's as if I was walking past a fountain of blood. I had Shadow walk past the last mirror, and the music stopped. He was now walking down an empty, quiet hallway, and I had this growing sense of dread in myself, and then Shadow stopped at this one more mirror. And he stopped right at it, showing his weird bleeding reflection. Then the laugh came again, and I saw that the real Shadow was slowly turning into his reflection, bleeding and smiling. What the hell kind of game is this? Just then Sonic appeared with those black and red eyes, red tears coming down his face, and he smiled as he looked at Shadow, and the screen went black, and then came a message on the screen. It's not the outside that's important. It's who you are on the inside that really intrigues me. When it came back to the level, Shadow was sitting on the floor, cradling in a half-fetal position like a child, just grinning that freaky grin. Then Sonic smiled as he looked at me and then lunged at Shadow. The screen went black with a loud pixelated screeching noise. I couldn't stand the feeling as I could hear it ring in my ears. That laugh came again. Another message shot out. You're learning about this better than anyone, aren't you, Derek? What the hell? How's this game know about me? This doesn't make sense. It brought me back to the main menu, and I saw that Shadow was now on one of the TV screens looking as he did earlier, looking rather mindlessly happy. I had to turn the game off. My head hurts so much from this. Was this what Chelsea found, a haunted computer game, and now some guy's using this to excuse to kill people to gain a cult? I don't get it. Why is all this happening? Who is X? Who is X? Who is X? Wait a minute. Sonic? 4:30 p.m. March 2nd, 2012. I came to a conclusion. It's obvious that X is no ordinary human being. In fact, I don't think he's even human. Cole filled me in about this. X is really called Sonic.Exe, named after the game that's been really causing all this trouble. Cole Skyped me recently that Sonic.Exe has been around long before the game did. I asked him what X really was exactly, and his answer unnerved me. Sonic.Exe is a monster. No, not the monsters you see in horror films or video games. No, he's a real monster. And he's not a monster, apparently. He told me that X is a supernatural being from another dimension. How freaking crazy is that? But it's true. It has to be. X has to be the one powering to control all this reality is his realm, and he is unable to do the same in our world because he can't enter it. So time ago, someone made a game disc that would serve as a window between X's world and ours. Anyone who plays it gets a front row seat of what X's dimension is like, and it is like hell. Not literally hell, but pretty damn close. Over time, after someone plays X's game, he sends out a plushie of Sonic to act as a spy to him. And when the time's right, X is able to open the window for a short time and pull people into his world where they're trapped for eternity. That's how he's able to kill people so easily without anyone noticing. He just comes out of the computer, pulls the soul out of the person's body, and goes back into the computer to retreat into his dimension. There, he can make the soul he captured his slave for eternity. If I was told this long ago, I would not have believed it. But now, I'm straight up convinced. Everything that Cole has told me is the truth so far, and right now I'm writing down all that he's telling me, just in case this information is useful. 6:30 p.m. Cole told me he had to go. He'll get in trouble if he gets caught talking to me. He says he'll Skype me again soon. That is until I am able to write this down and name names of potential victims at the time. I was also asked to keep an eye out because the call is getting suspicious. 4:30 p.m., April 22nd, 2012. 29th murder, no word from Cole yet. I nearly escaped from a few members of the cult and anyone that might be involved. I can't trust anyone now. I need to stay in my apartment so no one can find me. Person that was killed this time was a middle-aged guy named Paul. He was very paranoid of the outside world, and anything would scare the guy to death. Apparently, he had a Sonic Adventure 2 game to stay sane, as he would always play as Dr. Eggman. I betcha, X has made the poor man a vegetable in his world by now. May 4th, 2012. I just realized something. Why is it that the chief tried to get me off the job? Why did he confiscate the damn game disc? Why was he intercepting every one of mine and Chelsea's moves in this case? I'll tell you why. He's in on this. He's working for the cult of X. It's the only explanation. He took the game disc so that the way the cult could use it to continue with the killings. But the boss, he couldn't be involved in this too. He's been mine and Chelsea's friend for years. No. I don't think he would ever go in on this. Matter of fact, I don't think he can even know what's going on. Damn, Chief, why would you do this? When I uncovered the conspiracy, I'm ratting you out. August 12th, 2012. Boss called. 2 more murders. Numbers 30 and 31. Some kid named Tom tried to kill himself before he gained a package from his deceased friend Kyle. Surprisingly, both played the darn game. Kyle played first and passed on to Tom before Tom was captured by X. Of course, Kyle tried to put up a good match, but X was clearly no match for the Fiends, so Kyle tried to warn Tom not to play the game, but Tom did it anyways. X used this as the advantage to mess with poor Tom's head, making him believe that his curiosity and want helping others was what caused his friend's suffering. Tom tried to end himself by hanging in order to save himself from X, but apparently it failed, because X was there. X is not only dangerous and powerful, he's downright sadistic and insane. He thinks that all the horrific things he's doing is part of some silly game. X, you monster, why are you doing this? What are you trying to gain? August 24th, 2012. Played more of the game. The game Sally was in was really odd. She was in what appeared to be an odd, yet old, desolate city. Sky, a dull, dark mixture of clouds. Everything was just dull, empty, and dead. No music. What was weird is she was actually smiling. Maybe she found something good. No, that wasn't the case at all. After I had her run and jump past debris, she reached the end of the level. Sonic, no, X was there. She smiled at him, and he smiled back. Then another message. See, I'm not such a bad guy, Derek. Then another. I can be kind when I want to. Then it showed X holding Sally's hand, smiling warmly at her. She looked different now. Her eyes were sewn shut, and her color palette seemed more darker. X gently placed his hands around her head. I really do love humans, Derek. So much fun to play with. In fact, I guess you could say. Then it showed a close-up of X, with a wide, mad grin, finally snapping Sally's neck. She was still smiling as though she didn't feel any pain from it. They're the ultimate toy. I almost gagged at that. The main menu showed Sally. I saw her TV screen still on her darker side. She's still smiling. She couldn't have possibly enjoyed any of that. 8:30 p.m. Cole just called me. He said that all the characters you play in the game are all of Sonic.Exe slaves, turning into horrific parodies of Sonic characters, or at least turned all of them into favorite Sonic characters. And X sets them up randomly in each game to show us humans what's in store for us. Wait. Oh god, no. I won't do it. I won't play the game just to watch you harm our X. Screw you. August 25th, 2012. More information on X. X has 7 guardians ruling over his world alongside him. They're essentially extensions of Sonic.Exe himself, made from his power combined with powerful emotions of human beings. Each guardian is named after the emotions they were born from, which is this. Kido translates to prayer. Aishu translates to sorrow. Gekido equals rage. Kurai is hatred. Kofuku, happiness. Kyofu, fear. Yakobu, desire. X created these beings to not only maintain order in his world, but to cause trouble in ours. They corrupt humans and make them more susceptible to X, snatching them away and manipulating the emotions. For example, Gekido could bring out your anger and make you more violent towards others, while Yokobo could manipulate your desires and confuse you with what's reality and what's not. Also, Cole told me that X plans one day permanently cross over the world to our world, so that way he can merge his reality with ours, and all mankind would be his slaves for eternity. But how? How does he plan to accomplish such a feat? Cole thinks that the cult is thinking of ways to make it so, but so far none of our attempts have been successful. Apparently their knowledge in computers is not superior as the unknown original creator of the game. I asked why Cole knew so much about this. I don't know what compelled me to ask, but I'm guessing it's been nagging me for some time. Dear God, poor Cole. He revealed he was a member of the cult, but he didn't like it because of what he was getting into and tried to stop the cult. At least until X got to him first. Now he's stuck in X's world. He said he's lucky to have been even finding me since the window was still here. Anyways, he's telling me that he has info to put a way to stop to X's tracks as well as the cult's plans. Best way to do it is just to destroy the disc. That way, his only way in and out of worlds will be gone, and he won't be able to cause any trouble in ours. The chief still has the disc. I need to prepare on getting it back. 8:42 p.m. X got Cole. I was in the middle of talking with Cole while preparing, and then we got disconnected. When it reconnected, Cole's username changed to X. X told me that Cole has been cheating and needs to be punished, and he posted "ha" over and over and over and over again. Goddamn you, Sonic.Exe! My hand is still bleeding from shattering the screen, but I don't care anymore. Not anymore. It's time to end this. I'm going to go get that damn disc and destroy it. If I don't write back after this final entry, well, let's just say that whoever finds this, whoever reads this diary, please find it as instructive as you can. Everything you read in my diary is the truth. X is a monster from another world, and the cult of X is conspiring to help him take over our world. This cannot happen. I hope whoever finds this and tries to put an end to this madness, this is all a game on a bigger scale. We are all pawns in an elaborate, chaotic game where the monster is the one that devises the rules. Whatever you do, my friend, he must be stopped. Goodbye and good luck, Derek Green. That was Derek's last journal entry. He wrote this 3 weeks ago, and today is his birthday, and now he's dead. I wonder why he acted the way he was during these horrible events. I was worried about my friend, but I never bothered to find out at the time. I feel so stupid. Derek tried to fight this battle alone, and I did nothing. I haven't gotten a message from Derek in 3 weeks, but yesterday I got an email from someone named Cole. It was addressed strictly to Bob Richardson. Yes, that's my name. I clicked on it, and it was an audio tape that was made on September 13th. That was made a day ago before I got the email. I clicked on it, and this is what was on the audio tape. Recording starts. A man is grunting and yelling as 2 people are dragging him into a room. Derek translates to, "Get your freaking hands off me, you crazy cultist freaks." The sounds of high heels are heard as another person walks into the room. Shan Goldman. Is that what you would call the Christians and the Satanists, Mr. Green? Derek. Goldman? Struggling is still heard. More high heel sounds as Goldman approaches Derek. Goldman. Derek. Why would you deny X? Don't you see what he's trying to do for everyone? He only wants to make our world as happy as he is. Derek, in the quiet tone. Happy turns to Loud. You really think stealing souls and turning them into puppets is being happy? Our planet is not his toy box, you bitch. Goldman, in a more cold tone. It's not your place to decide what X wishes for humanity, Mr. Green. He's a divine being that wishes to make humanity more happy by showing us the paradise that is his world and taking us from the wretched filth of the planet that we've been forced to live on. Derek, struggling. Some of us actually like this planet, Goldman. X's world is nothing more but a prison. All X cares about is making us his plaything for eternity. Can't you see it's not fair? Goldman turns surprisingly angry, and she says, "What do you know about what's not fair?" Derek, "More than you do, obviously." A loud slap is heard, and Derek falls to the ground. Goldman, quiet. "You fool. X chose me to be his honest, loyal, minion because he knew I never liked this planet. He knew that I wanted to be rid of the stupid humanity it was causing, and I am perfectly okay with being X's slave if it means getting away from it, getting the peace I finally deserve after all this time. And if everyone has to go with me, then too fucking bad." Derek, chuckling rather shakingly. "Whatever. It doesn't matter anyways, because I'm going to stop you once and for all." Goldman, "Oh yeah? And where are you now? What with what, I presume?" Derek pulls out something from his coat. "With this!" Several gasps and murmurs are heard. Cole told me that the only way that X can enter is through the world is to collect more souls with this disc. Well, no more. A loud snapping noise is heard, as well as silence. Goldman starts to laugh. Goldman, "So Cole told you that, huh? What a smart boy, but even geniuses tend to get their information wrong." Derek, "What? What do you mean?" Goldman, easily. High heels walk again as Goldman walks around the room. "It's true that X cannot enter our world unless someone places the disc into a computer system. But I'm curious, Mr. Green." The sound of Goldman pulling out something from her pocket. "Wherever made you think that disc in particular was the original?" Derek, in a shaking tone, No, it can't be." Goldman, "A brilliant theory, I might add, detective, but I'm afraid it's your last one." The sound of a disc is being inserted into a CD drive is heard. Derek, in a violent struggle and yelling, No, let me go, you can't do this." And then a strange supernatural sounds are heard, and the audio breaks up and distorts a bit. A new person is walking into the room as Derek is screaming for his life. X, "Hi, Derek." Derek, No. X, more clearly, "Ready for round 2? Then, loud screeching noises are heard as the audio distorts more badly. Derek is screaming, Sonic.Exe is laughing, and there's a loud tune playing sped up in reverse. And a loud, fast drum-like rhythm booming loudly as the whole audio distorts and breaks up, finally ending in static. Audio tape ends. After hearing this, I never felt so helpless. Both my friends are gone, taken from me. There is nothing I can do about this. I'm a useless cop after all. But I hope someday, someone somewhere is able to put a stop to this, to do what I failed to do. I have to hope. I have to believe that there's a chance I can win this. Because if there is no hope, no chance, Sonic.Exe wins this game. Holy hell, that was a long-ass creepypasta. Now, the cliches aside, the only two cliches I can think of this, besides this being, the longest Sonic.Exe related creepypasta that I've read, and, I'm kind of surprised that this serves as a prequel and sequel to the original story, but the only two cliches I'm going to point out is, the whole mentioning of cultists, and as well as the whole mentioning of, Sonic.Exe traveling through dimensions, similar to the Ring theory. If someone's watching the movie The Ring in theaters, it's yeah, they would get nightmares from that, but Sonic.Exe, he's just a fictional creepypasta character, and doing the whole Ring effect with the whole cultist and stuff, and the cursed video game thing, especially in the story, if you're trying to do it like that, mixing the cultists in, it's stupid as hell. But the only thing I'm glad this has is no blood cliche, because if you were using the blood cliche way too much, it's stupid as hell. This is, probably, one of the longest Sonic.Exe creepypastas I've ever read. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm kind of surprised it serves as a prequel and a sequel at the same time, similar to The Lion King 1.5, and as well as, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, in the FNAF lore. But anyways, I hope you enjoy this creepypasta. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is Jeffrey Samberski, and I am out.